these powers of sale deals are definitely not for everybody.
Yeah.
If you're newer to investing, I highly recommend not doing this.
Yeah, don't do that.
Right?
You got to be sophisticated and ready to take that risk.
Yeah. And so for those people, we go towards a normal deal. It's a slower pace. You can digest everything. We can do all the checks and balances we need.
Yeah.
If you're seasoned, you know how to weigh those variables. You know how to look at it and say, okay, I inherently know the true risk-reward scenario of the environmental.
Yeah. Welcome back to REI Hot Seat. Andrew Hines here with David Hulshof.
We're here. Another one.
All right, we're being very consistent here. So Dave and I are going to go over a deal today. Looks like purpose-built, multiplex, 20 units from what I glean.
That was a good deduction, sir. You are correct. Yes.
Yeah. Where is this one?
This one's Queenston Street in St. Catharines.
Okay, St. Catharines, nice.
So
I like that little area.
Yeah, it's good. It's
Niagara region's great. And the proximity to the U.S.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like Queenston Street itself, I'm being told, doesn't have the best
reputation.
Yeah. Now I don't know. The depths of St. Catharines.
Just anecdotally, I've driven in St. Catharines at night, and you see some stuff.
I mean, it's starting to be everywhere.
Street you go down.
I was going to work out at early morning. That's when I tend to go, and I'm driving, and it's like, this is in Burlington, keep in mind. There's like 7 cop cars out front of this one place. I get to the gym, and there's a bunch of homeless people out front being ushered away from security. So
yeah, it's pretty much everywhere you go.
It's
in
a
Canada.
Systemic issue, perhaps we might say. So this is unique. I'll tell you why. It's another power of sale deal.
Okay.
So we've got a few that we've talked about on the show. This actually has 2 listings on MLS right now. One was $4.8 million.
Yeah.
And so what happened was the owner of it, I'm deducing here, word of the day, tried to sell it, didn't get what they wanted, and now it is relisted.
So that listing's still up though?
Which is super bizarre, yeah.
So you had one for 4.8 and then another for
$3.85 million.
85.
Wild, eh?
That's odd. I'm surprised they could list both.
I would suspect that.
Yeah, because you're at 192.5 a unit on the lower price.
Yeah.
The other price that was obviously reaching.
Yeah, and they are holding offers until Monday.
Right.
On this one.
So very much a power of sale approach, I guess. Like they price it really accordingly, price to move, get the offers.
Yeah.
So you think it'll go over that amount then probably?
Maybe not over, maybe. Probably pretty close. So Mateo, the agent, know him. We were working with him on another deal. He knows his stuff. So he's pricing these things pretty accurately, in my opinion, give or take.
Is $200 a door about right for that kind of product?
Well, I'll show you the numbers.
I know your butter knife analogy.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, 4.8's pretty quick to figure out. It's too expensive. 3.8, it starts to make sense. So we'll show you the numbers. I'll make this a little bit bigger.
Yeah, let's zoom in a little bit.
So keep in mind for the people following along, some of this information is from the previous listing. So it's possible a lot of this stuff has changed. So here's my little plug. Don't rely on this information, right? If you're interested, reach out and we can run through.
Verify,
Yeah. So there's 6 vacancies showing here. I think there's now a 7th.
Okay.
Where it's a bit of lack of clarity around if those vacant units are fully renovated.
Can you go a little bit bigger on that? That'd be
yeah, for sure.
Oh, different other page.
I'll go on both.
It'll work on both? Okay. Yeah.
If it doesn't, I'll go bigger. Okay. But just to show you the photos, to give you a sense, like it's looking pretty well done.
Yeah, it's clean and tidy.
Mm-hmm. Good renos.
Got it looks like hot water baseboard.
It's funny. The guy who owned this, probably a seasoned vet owner. You know, you see like the white appliances, and normally you want the stainless steel. It's probably like, I'm not getting a return on that, not doing it.
Yeah.
So, curious as to what happened in the conversion. But point being, good units, right? They don't look beat up. Doesn't look like a overly rough building.
Would you expect on a building like that, you're going to have some units that are just absolute dogs? Like they really look bad that just don't make it to the photo?
Yeah, especially
that's pretty common, right?
Yeah, like you see
some
here,
older
800, 900.
You can imagine those are going to be pretty dated.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so the challenge with the vacant units, and it's funny, when we go through this with different clients, some want to see it don't put any income on it. They want to work their way that, work the numbers that way. Others want us to fill it if it's renoed. Others want us to fill it if it's not renoed at what we feel you can get market-wise. So there's a lot of different ways through this, which we'll dissect as we go. But one of the things to start is to look at the same way we've looked at every other deal, just plug it on CMHC.
Okay.
But then what we'll also do is look at, this is a power of sale, so they are not going to let you take it. They're not going to
let you go through CMHC.
chance.
You got to do a bridge of some sort.
You got it. Yeah. And so we'll talk about that, and then we can look through the implications of if they're not renovated, putting on cost. So we can kind of zip through it. But as it stands right now...
So let's make that a bit bigger so I can see the rents. I just want to see kind of where we're at for...
Better or one more?
Yeah, do one more. The units we're trying to fill, what are we at? What are we at for market rent?
We've got 16 on a 1-bed and 18 on a 2.
Okay,
which I think is probably pretty good. For some reason, this one says 15. Not sure why. We'll change that to 16 so it's congruent. These must have come from... I'm going to go backwards on that. These probably came from somewhere, and I just don't know where. So we'll leave it as is. If we take it direct to CMHC, we'll just go, it's a 575 cap, 192 a unit. Some income from laundry, some other income, which I suspect is storage.
Okay.
And then your typical expenses, everything we've seen many times. If we pick it up and send it off to CMHC, ironically, at the purchase price, we hit a 1.2 debt cover.
Okay, so they've sort of
probably they're running the numbers we run, right?
If you know the guy, maybe he uses the same approximate model.
I suspect, yeah. Don't know for sure, but
yeah,
he comes pretty close to.
So 1.2 does the trick for if you do a 10-year finance on a.
You got it.
Yeah. And how many year AM would you be going on that? It's at a 40? Yeah.
40-year AM, yeah.
Okay.
10-year rate, and then if you go with the 5-year, you have to hit a 1.3 debt cover.
Yeah.
So
1.3, yeah. So it's obviously a benefit to a lot of people to take the 10. And also, I mean, although when rates are high, you don't really want it, but I mean, in America, people take much longer rates.
Like
30-year rates. Full-term rates. That's cool.
I was just talking to a guy who bought a house out there, and he was like, yeah, my rate is this, and it's 30 years. He's got 7.2. Just 30 years.
Just locked up a house in Tennessee, and it's like 2.8% for 27 years left. The guy's going to do sub 2 to us, so we'll take over the mortgage payment.
Wow.
We got the mortgage rate for the next 27 years.
That's insane. It's free money for that long. I don't.
Yeah. Buying the house for $177,000, just throw a tenant in it. I mean,
can a lot of those mortgages in the U.S. be assumed?
No, it's not. So it's just bought subject to that mortgage. So it's not assumable. It might be assumable, but we'd have to qualify and go to the new market rate. So rather than that, we just take it over. There are some risks with that, like the due on sale clause and stuff, but most banks, if they're getting their payments, just
when you say due on sale, like there might be liens and encumbrances and stuff?
No, due on sale as in if you sell the place, it's in your loan documents that the loan has to be paid off. So this seller's selling the place, but we're leaving the mortgage on. So we'll take title, but the mortgage stays on. So we buy subject to that mortgage.
Got it.
Yeah, that's a big thing in the U.S., not in Canada.
Yeah.
I don't think you do it in Canada.
The nuances are wild.
Yeah.
Like we do power of sale, they do foreclosure.
Depends on the state. Yeah, right. But pretty much foreclosure, which foreclosure in concept is the same thing. And there are some Canadian provinces that do foreclosure too. But foreclosure is no different. In essence, it's just the bank actually takes it and then they call it an REO. And then the bank has to sell it. And then any money that's left over, they have to give back to the person they took it from.
Oh, see, I thought they just took it over.
Yeah, and that's what I thought too. But in reality and in practice, that is what happens because all their fees just drive it up so that you're well beyond any money left. So they just make sure, it's obviously in the loan documents, every rate, $200 an hour or $500 an hour.
Yeah. That's
so you get, it gets to a point where most people are getting nothing.
Got it.
Yeah, anyways. But in theory, they could get money back.
Interesting, yeah, because here, I
feel like the power of sale process is far less expense, so that causes a higher likelihood that the person would get something back.
Yeah, like a lot of times there's capital left over, and you do see the build-in of fees, right? The power of sale fees.
Oh yeah, you're still paying crazy fees to the lawyers.
They. It's an interesting. I always thought that they would just, boom, I own it. I own the property. So that's
I thought so too, but I kind of started going down the rabbit hole. Why do they call it an REO? And I don't know what that stands for, but it's because they have an obligation to sell it. They've got to get it onto the market. and they're under scrutiny to make sure that they took a reasonable offer. That if they did take a lower offer, why did they?
Yeah.
Oh well, the buyer provided me with proof of funds, the other one didn't. So they have to go through all that. Same
Not
thing.
dissimilar to ours. Yeah, same process, right? I mean, that's how we got the other power of sale was here are the buyers. Here's what they do. We had a whole kind of bio on them, the group. And obviously a strong offer, and they actually had higher offers, but they went with ours.
Yeah.
So they knew our group. They knew they didn't know the buyers, but they liked the profile, and then the group that was doing the financing for the buyers, they knew the sellers knew as well. So that goes a long way.
A defensible position, but you got to be ready to argue it, right? If you ever get under scrutiny for it. So
yeah, and you have to again as the buyer rep agent. Knowing that they have that hurdle to overcome,
make it easy on them.
You've got to make it as easy.
Build the case for them,
so they just have it there and they feel very comfortable. So, so let's look at this as a direct. Just go back. It hits the 1-2. Okay. The likelihood is, as we said, this isn't going to be the case. So now we jump to another sheet, which is you guys have seen this one before as well. We often see this if we're going to do renovations. That's where you see me use this sheet.
Okay.
So what I've built, and kind of just to summarize, is we're picking up the deal. We're going to do bridge financing, which is just, as the name suggests, just helps us get from when you bought it to CMHC. It's going to bridge the timeline between the two. We have to build in a cost for that. The interest rate's going to be higher. There's legal fees. It's not cheap.
Is that going to be like a semi-private or a private?
Well, it's interesting now with quality deals that will go to CMHC. A lot of these mortgage brokers, the good ones anyways, will actually coordinate with the finance company that's going to submit to CMHC.
Yeah.
And it's that company that will give us the debt.
Okay.
So it's not a private. It's actually just the lender will actually be the same lender you use for CMHC. It's just a different
Okay, so that lender will still do it, and then they'll just roll you into the CMHC program later.
Yeah. So they charge you They charge you a fee to do it, but the rate will be higher than the actual CMHC mortgage. But they're the same lender, and it just switches.
I feel like credit unions are kind of known to do that kind of thing, right? Like local product, they'll just work with you and make something work.
When it's a quality deal like this, all the lenders are. If the lenders underwrite it and feel comfortable CMHC is going to do it, it's pretty good risk mitigation. And a lot of them feel very, very happy to do it because it's effectively they're just going to squeeze a little more out of you.
Yeah.
Right? So why not do it?
Awesome.
General rule of thumb, although I will get argued my way through this if mortgage brokers were here, but a good number to work off is like 1%. As a bridge to for fees and whatnot. So what we've done is I just took 40 grand and then I tacked on another 40 grand. So that's
that's your bridge cost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So very, very rough math.
Plus a couple of months of rent, or like what are you looking at there for that process?
Yeah, so we can kind of build it out. I just wanted to have something in there. So of course, if we do it this way, we can hit the metrics. If we buy it this way and we do what we need to do, we'll be there. But now we got to look at if we have to put some renovations to the 6 or 7 units.
Yeah.
Right? That's definitely a possibility. So let's say we have $40,000 a unit for renovations times 7 is $280. Okay. So if we look at this, what the sheet is telling us, let me just make this 85 and I'll explain it. We're effectively trying to strip out as much capital, and what number do we feel CMHC will give us? Because remember, we're closing in a bridge, and the value of that will mean we can increase the value of it beyond purchase price.
So will you be getting an appraisal at that point, or it's just a new application CMHC decides if they want to appraise it?
You'll get an appraisal with CMHC because it's going to be like in the bridge, the lender's just looking at, can we give this guy financing on this building?
Yeah.
It's not what CMHC will do.
Okay.
And so we're going to improve the building, and then we're going to submit.
And does CMHC have any seasoning requirement? Like you must have owned it for X number of months? So there's constantly changing rules, and one of the big challenges is if you have a boatload of vacancies, how it's going to be addressed. Yeah.
So you used to be able to submit with a bunch of vacancies and say, hey,
we'll fill them. Yeah.
Trust me, Andrew, we'll get them filled. They're not very keen on that. There's some really pretty in the weeds things that you have to be aware of as through the process, and we can, dive into that at another time. But it's important to know, and that's also why when you work with a mortgage broker, they've got to know this stuff.
Yeah.
They have to. This has to be their world. If they don't do CMHC financing,
No, yeah, they have to
Don't
be
do that.
specialists.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
have
you just can't do it otherwise.
it's too complex, and the
Yeah.
rules are changing. And the problem with CMHC is, not the problem if they're listening, is they make changes. Like they'll come out today, and the changes will be effective next week or the week after,
Yeah.
right? To deals you're submitting.
So then
it's
you got to change
constantly
everything.
Changing
Yeah.
environment.
Like a couple times a year they're doing that, or?
When ad hoc when needed. Like you remember the MLI Select energy efficiency change
Yeah, it was a while back. Yeah.
a while ago, and they just changed it on a dime, and then they changed a bunch of stuff around VTBs and this vacancy. So anyways, got to be ahead of it. We're involved. We can help you through it as well.
Well, that's the biggest thing, like just to kind of circle back, like if you're in the general real estate investing community and doing just houses and duplexes and whatever, and like this world is like foreign. The broker you're working with could very well be the completely wrong broker for this because they just don't understand it. And if they just don't understand it, now you're with somebody who needs to invent the wheel in order to help you do a deal. And that's just a bad way of doing
The
business.
recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
We had I had a new listener call this week actually, and she owns a bunch of singles and duplexes, and because of the show, she was in agreement. She's like, oh, my broker is amazing for what I've used them for, but they've actually done only a few of these, so they already know. It's like you don't
want to do that. You want to work with somebody who like this is what they do.
Yeah,
like they
and
do
that's
the
why we get
multis.
involved too, because it's our reputation too, right? We're known for people who close on deals, right? And it's for that reason is because everyone we work with uses people that are specialists in each category.
Yeah.
So we build this out. This is at purchase price, right? So we're picking the deal up, we're renovating the units, we're tenanting them, and we're doing a bridge in that process, sending it to CMHC. The beauty of this process is A, it lets us close faster, which you have to do for a power of sale deal.
Yeah.
B, presumably improve the building prior to submission.
Yeah.
Which is also important. So if we do that with all these variables we've worked off, 4.5% interest, 85% loan to value, we hit the 1.2 debt cover, and we're leaving about $225,000 in the deal.
Okay.
So will it actually work like that in theory? We would have to sit with a mortgage broker and make sure that this confines to the rules that CMHC needs, and that the bridge lender will be okay with what we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
Right? But presuming they do, also an amazing deal.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds nice to be able to pick up 20 units and you're in for 200 and change.
It's incredible.
Obviously, after going through the process, but
Yeah, and even if, look, I mean, I would probably put on a much larger contingency, you know, for, let's just be crazy and say another $100,000, right? It's not how you spell contingency, but whatever. There's 300. It's still great.
yeah.
You know, you're still...
And you're hitting your DCR there at 85%.
Yeah, and you're cash flowing 48,000 on, you know, with all the standard build outs that we put into this. So, you know, you're $45,000 a year, and you're in for 300.
You see any issue with lease up with all the vacancies?
No, I mean, we're on the other deal we're going through. It's a, you know, over 20 vacant units. You have to have specialists, same degree as the mortgage brokers.
Yeah.
And you have to price it right. I think if you have good quality units, and you're not trying to, you know, squeeze the top end of the market, I don't think you're going to have any problems.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, St. Catharines is a major center, so you're going to have a big base. Looking for tenancy.
Yeah, and look, I mean, anecdotally, or if we look, like, you know, I look at the roof, looks a little bit beat up. Thought I saw that somewhere. There you go. Maybe not. Maybe I was being a little too... Maybe I'm wrong. In any event, that's the inherent risk. Power of sale, you're taking this deal as is, where is. So...
Is that ponding water?
Certainly ponding, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't AI that out of there. It's, but you know, look, you buy, you can definitely do a tour, right? You could see it, but you know, they're not going to give you an environmental, even if they have one, or an appraisal, or make any.
So you got to do all that. They'll let you do it.
And what ends up happening in a lot of these powers of sale is you're running the risk.
So you don't even get to do an environmental.
No. You're almost certainly not going to get a power sale deal if you're conditional.
Oh, so that's the way it's going. So the one that, because you had one
Yep.
a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
And
they had 5 offers.
Yeah.
2, as I'm told, I don't know for sure, but 2 of them were above ours. And 4, I think it was 4, I might be wrong, I might be speaking, but certainly multiples were firm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would have a certain level of comfort. I mean, I would be of the policy generally, just get an environmental. But,
Always, yeah.
But I mean, looking at something, if you see absolutely no evidence, or you can even do some pre-research, speak with somebody who does it, an environmental engineer, and say, hey, can you do just a high level for me? I'm about to put in an offer. Hopefully you got a friend that can help you out.
Well, so we, obviously with what we do, we send a lot of referrals to partners, and that's a big one. And, you know, in circumstances like this with enough runway, it could be a week. You can call them and say, look, I don't even need the report. I'll pay you. Just do the research and tell me if it's good.
Yeah, tell me if there's a risk, because like their phase 1 is really just doing like desk research, right?
Yeah,
and then a visual, like they walk.
It's funny when they do the visual, because they're there for 4 minutes. Like it's just
Yep, look good.
Yeah, they want to make sure there's no buried tanks. They do a walk around. They do a walk in the mechanicals, and they're out of there. Right?
Yeah, just any obvious signs, and then. So if they tell you no, we would recommend a phase 2, then you automatically know. Okay, well now I'm gonna just
because a lot of what they look at is the history, right? So was there a I don't know, a dry cleaner nearby, and which way does the grades and the slopes go? Is it all kind of funneling towards this
like
building?
if the dry cleaner was up the street, like elevation wise, then that's a problem now, because the chemicals can run downstream.
Yeah, and it's curious, like you know, they'll look at what all this stuff is around it, but in any event, that's the risk of a power of sale, but people are getting...
That's why you're getting a better deal.
Right. You're getting a style of deal where you're, you know, repatriating a vast majority of your capital on a, you know, 20-plus unit building, give or take. It's pretty amazing.
It is. That is a solid deal.
But not at, you know, risk reward. So these powers of sale deals are definitely not for everybody.
Yeah.
If you're newer to investing, I highly, highly recommend not doing this.
Yeah, don't do that.
Right? This is
you got to be sophisticated and ready to take that risk.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so for those people, we go towards a normal deal. It's a slower pace. Mm-hmm. We can digest everything. We can do all the checks and balances we need.
Yeah.
If you're seasoned, you know how to weigh those variables. You know how to look at it and say, okay, I inherently know the true risk reward scenario of the environmental.
Yeah.
Right. So,
awesome.
We're seeing more powers and sales right now.
When's this one? When's the offer date on this one?
Offer date's Monday. So, you know,
you'll miss this on this episode. This will be
all
on
the more
Wednesday.
reason to call us beforehand to get working with us, right?
Yeah.
So we work through, we go through the scenario with people, and people that are wanting to do powers of sales, we're already primed and ready, and then people that are looking for quality deals, we're prepping them as well. Like now is the time to be out hunting and looking, and we're throwing out many offers well below ask and giving them a long irrevocable. So Andrew, here's your offer. You've got a month. We're doing, Yeah, we're doing deals that way.
You mean irrevocable for a month?
Yeah, for sure. Wow. That's the new trade secret is, look, it's because we send these offers and people feel they're offensive. It's like the market's trending downward. It's like, I'm not going to buy it for what we would, even if we agree to what market is, because it's going down.
Yeah.
So I got to future predict for that downfall. So sellers,
give them some time to adjust.
And it works. Yeah. And it gives the selling agent benefit of, here you go. It alleviates the pressure. Take the offer. And a lot of times, not always, a lot of times people are circling back and wanting to renegotiate. Say, hey,
I think the biggest thing is consistency, right? Like you do that, anything like that with consistency, you're going to get some results. And then, of course, if you follow up with these people.
It's part of the reason why people hire me, right? Is like a dog with a bone, and I'll stay on them. And I'm, you know, the selling agents, it's like you're delivering something that, I get it. It's going to be annoying. They got to bring it to their client. Their client's not going to like the number. So I understand. Yeah. So I'll talk to them before. The monthly revocable alleviates that stress, that pressure, and it keeps the door open. It's a bit more of a friendly.
So they don't have to show it to them right away, kind of thing.
No, they show it right away, but it's just like the sticker shock is there, and then 2 weeks go by, and the questions are, do you think they'd be at the table? And it's like, no, we will, and we'll stay at that number. Like we're ready to buy if you're ready to sit down with us. So, getting active, and if you have capital and you're thinking about doing it, and getting on, a little plug for us, but getting on with us, we're very active right now. A lot of people aren't in the summer. Yeah. And if you're interested in buying, it is an incredible time to start hunting.
Yeah, so if you want to do that, guys, just join through the link under the video, or if you're on the podcast platforms, it'll be in the show notes, and that gets you on the insiders list. So that's an easy segue into that.
Yeah.
So this show is obviously very niche. We talk multifamily, we talk commercial, industrial, all that stuff, and these are the guys to do it. So that's, obviously that's why we're a niche show. We're really focused in on this stuff, and I really do think these guys have got it figured out. So
yeah. No, I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, anyways, anything else we need to to say?
Reach
at this
out.
point?
Let's have some chats. Even if we've had a few, which are people that aren't ready yet, they want to dive a little bit deeper and have conversations. I'm open, guys. Like, let's. I have a passion for this stuff, so
perfect.
have those calls.
All right, guys. If you made it this far, show the channel some love. Maybe share this video with somebody you think it could help, and we will see you again next week.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.